Welcome in everyone. How you guys doing? If you guys inside, hit that subscribe, like, share. Happy 2024. Happy 2024 to everyone. Gotta make sure I didn't say 2020. 24. Welcome in, man. How y'all doing? We're gonna try something different today. I got a reaction I was gonna do from the Joe Rogan podcast, which I'm thinking I need to do more reactions like this. So if you guys agree, hit me down in the comments and let me know. But we're gonna be doing Joe Rogan. I wasn't afraid of AI until I learned this. I'm already not too much a fan of AI. I've seen enough movies and they've let me know that it can go horribly wrong. Let's go.
There's something that changed in the field of AI in 2017 that everyone needs to know, because I was not freaked out about AI at all, until this big change in 2017.
Mm-hmm. It's really important to know this because we've heard about AI for the longest time, and you're like, yep, Google Maps still mispronounces like the street name, and like Siri just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And this thing happened in 2017. It's actually the exact same thing that said, all right, now it's time to start translating animal language. And it's where underneath the hood, the engine got swapped out, and it was a thing called transformers. And the interesting thing about this new model called transformers is the more data you pump into it, and the more like computers you let it run on, the more superpowers it gets. But you haven't done anything differently. You just give more data and run it on more computers.
Like it's reading more of the internet, and it's just throwing more computers at the stuff that it's read on the internet.
Yeah.
And out pops out, suddenly it knows how to explain jokes. Mm-hmm. You're like, wait, where did that come from?
Yeah. Or now it knows how to play
What do
chess.
you mean it knows how
And
to
all it's done is predict.
explain jokes?
All you've asked it to do is let me predict the next character or the next word.
Give the Amazon example.
Oh yeah, this is.
It knows how to
interesting.
make
this
jokes.
is
What?
2017, OpenAI releases a paper where they train this AI, it's one of these transformers, a GPT, to predict the next character of an Amazon review. Pretty simple. But then they're looking inside the brain of this AI, and they discover that there's one neuron that does best in the world sentiment analysis, like understanding whether the human is feeling like good or bad about the product. And you're like, that's so strange. You asked it just to predict the next character. Why is it learning about how a human being is feeling?
Why do you have a program or a software or computer that's even predicting like the future of which us as a consumer be buying stuff like, and then you're telling me about my feelings or how I should be? Yeah, like computers, it's thinking outside the box, but at the same time it's doing too much self-aware thinking right there. I don't like it. Like you're starting to do exactly what I've seen in the movies. You're starting to get self-aware. You're starting to become your own, I don't want to say program, but thinking you're your own person. I'm for this AI bullshit. Like, words ain't even coming to me because in my brain I'm just thinking of so many scenarios while I'm trying to talk here. I'm just like, this kind of shit scares the fuck out of me. I don't care what nobody tell me, like all these automated cars, you know what I mean, autopilot, like Tesla. Like what? Look here, if you go and get autopilot for a car, you should not be fucking driving. End of conversation. Like if you need to buy a Tesla car because of the autopilot, you should not be allowed on the road. Simple as. I'm not into all this new age technology. You know what I'm saying? Look at most of the warehouses with all these computerized drones that go pick up, like, I know it just takes off from the workforce, people are out of work, but at the same time too, the amount of that could go wrong. Let's go, man.
And it's strange until you realize, oh, I see why. It's because to predict the next character really well, I have to understand how the human being is feeling to know whether like the word is going to be like a positive word or a negative word.
And this wasn't programmed?
No. It
That's
was
the key
an
thing.
emergent behavior.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting.
Well, the computer decided to do this on its own.
GPT-3 had been out for, I think, a couple years. Until a researcher thought to ask, oh, I wonder if it knows chemistry. And it turned out it can do research-grade chemistry at the level and sometimes better than models that were explicitly trained to do chemistry.
Like there was these other AI systems that were trained explicitly
Yo.
in chemistry, and it turned out GPT
It's learning
which is just
itself.
pumped with more, reading more and more of the internet, and just
Like,
more computers and GPUs at it, Suddenly it knows how to do research-grade chemistry. So you could say, how do I make VX nerve gas? And suddenly that capability is in there. And what's scary about it is that we didn't know that it had that capability.
How do I make the X nerve gas? Are you taking the piss? I didn't even think of it that. Yo, we giving AI information how to wipe us out. There's readily information there on how to wipe us out. Are we continuing to make this shit? Oh, hell no. Somebody need to find a mainframe and just burn that shit to the ground. Like, yo, you know what I mean? And then we want to know why, like, in a couple hundred years or whatever, Armageddon comes. Like, y'all trying to turn this into Terminator. You know what I mean? Skynet. Man, shit. They say all movies come from somewhere. An idea might be crazy, but it comes from some kind of a truth. You know what I mean? Like,
Capability until years after it had already been deployed to everyone.
And in fact, there is no way to know what abilities it has. Another example is, you know, theory of mind, like my ability to sit here and sort of like model what you're thinking, sort of like the basis for being able to do strategic thinking.
So like when you're nodding your head right now, we're like testing, like, how well are we explaining?
Right.
No one thought to test any of these, you know, transformer-based models, these GPTs, on whether they could model what somebody else was thinking. And it turns out like GPT-3 was not very good at it. GPT 3.5 was like at the level, I don't remember the exact details now, but it's like at the level of like a 4-year-old or 5-year-old. And GPT-4 like was able to pass these sort of theory of mind tests up near like a human adult. And so it's like it's growing really fast. You're like, why is it learning how to model how other people think? And then it all of a sudden makes sense. If you are predicting the next word.
How's it modeling how we thinking? Because it wants to know, it wants to see, it wants to be in our brain. Yeah, find out our weaknesses, our flaws, so then it could manipulate and take advantage of that shit, wipe us out. That is why I'm not even playing with no AI. Yeah, I'm telling you, I ever walk into a fucking store and a mannequin looks at me and starts to talk, I'm knocking it out, bro. Man, that's what I'm telling you. I'll go anywhere. You see a robot come up to me, bro. Hey, they best have insurance, you know. I'm beating the shit out of that. Yo, I'm not playing them games. Like, I'm paying my money. I want to see human. That's why even with some of this tap phone business, tap. Man, what happened to the old school days of human interaction? Good morning. How are you? How much is that? Yep, I got that. Yo, you know what I mean? We just cut off. And then we want to know why people are so unsociable these days, because we're making it an era where people do not need to have to socialize. You know, stuck in their houses, keyboard warriors and shit. I'm not saying everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
for the entirety of the internet, then, well, it's going to read every novel. And for novels to work, the characters have to be able to understand how all the other characters are working and what they're thinking and what they're strategizing about. It has to understand how French people think and how they think differently than German people. It's read all the internet, so it's read lots and lots of chess games. So now it's learned how to model chess and play chess. It's read all the textbooks
learn
on
how
chemistry.
to model people and play people as if they're on a chessboard.
In a chemistry book, which means it has to learn chemistry. So you feed in all of the data of the internet and ends up having to learn a model of the world in some way, because like language is sort of like a shadow of the world. It's like you imagine like casting lights from the world and it creates shadows, which we talk about as language, and the AI is learning to go from like that flattened language and like reconstitute, like make the model of the world. And so that's why these things, the more data and the more computers you throw at them, the better and better it's able to understand all of the world that is accessible via text and now video and image. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. Now, what is the leap between these emergent behaviors or these emergent abilities that AI has and artificial general intelligence? And when do we know, or do we know? Like, this is the speculation all over the internet when Sam Altman was removed as the CEO and then brought back, was that they had not been forthcoming about the actual capabilities of whether it's ChatGPT 5 or artificial general
And
intelligence.
this is just
that
scary
some
in general, man. I'm not
large
even
leap
playing with this kind
had
of
occurred.
shit. Like, yo, but it's happening.
That's some of the reporting.
It's
about
good
it.
that we know.
Obviously, the board had a different statement, which was about Sam. The quote was, I think, not consistently being candid with the board. So
Funny way of saying lying.
yeah. So basically, the board was accusing Sam of lying. There was this story.
Specifically about
What's that?
specifically
They didn't
about-
say. I mean, I think that one of the failures of the board was that they didn't communicate nearly enough for us to know.
Well, that's
what
why
was
it's
going
so-
on. Which is why I think a lot of people then think, well, was there this big crazy jump in capabilities? And
Yes.
that's the thing. And Q-Star went viral. And ironically, it goes viral because the algorithms of social media pick up that Q-Star, which has this mystique to it, sort of it must be really powerful and this breakthrough. And then that's kind of a theory on its own, so it kind of blows up. But we don't currently have any evidence. And we know a lot of people, who are around the companies in the Bay Area. I can't say for certain, but my sense is that the board
It's
acted
already happening right now,
based on
man.
what they communicated, and that there
Yeah.
was not a major breakthrough that led to
Turn this into
anything
some
to do
military
with
power.
this happening.
Go
But
to war
your
with
question, though,
androids and shit.
You're asking about what is AGI, artificial general intelligence,
Hey.
and what's spooky about that?
Yeah.
Because so just to sort of define it,
Well, I would just say before you get there, as we start talking about AGI, because that's what, of course, OpenAI is like said that they're trying to build.
their mission statement.
Their mission statement, and they're like, but we have to build an aligned AGI, meaning that it like does like what human beings say it should do, and also like.
But it's
take care
here
of, like,
learning for itself, so it's going to find a way to
things.
override that
You
system.
can't have a deceptively
Do what you tell me to
aligned
do.
operator building an
And
aligned.
it's gonna be like
AGI.
looking at us
And so I
like,
think it's
you
really
know what I mean?
critical because we don't know what happened with Sam and the board. That the independent investigation that they say they're going to be doing, like that they do that they make the report public, that it's actually independent.
Yeah, let's
because,
stop there.
Like, even
Yeah. I ain't for the AI. Obviously, we need it in, our everyday lives, artificial intelligence, and certain things and stuff. But when it comes to the actual point of it turning into, what's the name on Iron Man? Jarvis. I don't want no Jarvis out here. I'm just saying, I'm good. Let Jarvis stay in the movie realm. Marvel's universe, multiverse, all that. We don't need Jarvis out here because that's some different. Look what happened with Vision and Ultron. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just take hints, man. Just take hints, like, and whoever's creating this stuff, you know they don't have friends. People who create this kind of like, yes, they're smart. Yes, you're a genius. Yep, I hear you. But you ain't got no friends. You ain't going out. Why the hell would you want to give a computer the power to do what we do? Or to think how we think? Any kind of capabilities along them lines, man, shit. Man. Anyways, thank each and every one of you for tuning in. If you want to see me do any more reactions like this, hey, let me know. Hit me down in the comments. Take care.